Good afternoon, dear students. Welcome to the class on Action Research in ELT. I am M.Kishan Reddy, presenting you the topic. Continue. Start, Amali. Hello. Many students commit errors when they listen, speak, read and write the English language, and teachers try to correct them on the spot, but some errors are remaining same in the students. It takes a lot of time to correct them. And what kind of errors are there in the students, and what is action research? It is not that the PhD scholars do here. It is a small research, and we are going to know the contents of it. First of all, let's have a glance on the slides. See, generally students commit the mistakes of words in a sentence. Generally, you might notice there the teacher corrected the words, and see the words isolated, bed, and it is written as bedi, rid, fun, and mat. Mat is written as meti. Yeah, and this is one more kind of error. The words are rewritten. The words are tried twice. The garden went wrong there. So many mistakes are there. Look at this. I have a blue hat. This is a mistake of mixing up capitals and small letters. Look at this, common mistakes. Instead of I agree, I am agree. Do you agree? Or you agree? And I don't agree, I am not agree. So you may notice that right and wrong on the screen. So these are the common mistakes, and let us have one more slide here. Incorrect and correct. Many a times we use it instead of many times or many a time. Look at this, some common mistakes are there. The plurals, instead of men we use mans or men's for a singular noun man. And children, instead of children we use children's. We add s to children even, forgetting that children itself is a plural of child. And people is, instead of are we use people is. And there are so many common mistakes on the screen. Okay, now let us come back to the same slide once again later. See this, let's eat grandma. When one is hungry, we use this. There is no comma after eat. So what does it mean? Let's eat grandma. We are going to eat the grandma there. So a simple comma makes the difference. Look at the same sentence with a comma below. Let's eat grandma. Oh grandma, let's eat. So comma makes the meaning complete different. There the grandma becomes angry there. Okay. Now instead of mistakes, mistakes, T and S interchanged their place. So these are the common mistakes in which many students do this when they come across the transaction processes. Now, is there any solution for it? Yes, is there any solution? There is an echo solution. Everyone wants a solution. Yes, definitely there is a solution. What's that? Okay, wait and see. Action research. It is a solution for all these problems. Okay, so diagnose and suggest some solutions. So action research, It's a small research where a classroom teacher can do in the classroom, and by identifying the common errors in the children. Now let us have some definitions here. What is actually action research? Action research is research used by teachers, supervisors and administrators to improve the quality of their decisions and actions. And action research is focused on the immediate application, not on the development of theory. It has placed its emphasis on real problem here and now in a local setting. So it aims at practical solution. It is not theory. Action research is not a theory, but it is practical. Let's have one more definition. It is done by systematically collecting data on your everyday practice and analyzing it in order to come to some decisions about what your future practice should be. So it is very clear that action research helps the teacher and the taught by solving some classroom problems. Now what is classroom action research? The name itself indicates it's a research that come across in the classroom itself, and the action taken to change and improve. The change is required in the classroom itself, and thereby the improvement is there in the students. And here action research in education. Okay, in the field of education we can do this action research in all the subjects: science, maths, social, Telugu, Hindi, English, all the subjects. It is teacher initiated, school based, to improve practitioners' practice by doing or changing something. Okay, now let us glance one more slide, the features of action research. Okay, the characteristics: it is contextualized, it comes in the process of classroom transaction, and it is small scale research and local. It is particular to the classroom itself. It is not generalized to all schools, all classrooms, all places, but it is local, and it is evaluative and reflective too. It aims to bring about change. Changes are based on the collection of data which provides the force for change. It is cyclical too. The characteristics, one more slide that is indicating the key characteristics of action research. Okay, I am going through some of the main points of it. It is practical. Okay, the main characteristic of action research is it's practical, it is collaborative, it is dynamic, it is sharing, and it aims to improve practices or work conditions. Now the types of action research. So there are three types indicated on the slide. The individual teacher research, where usually an individual teacher can take up this activity in his classroom or her classroom. Second type, collaborative action research. It may include as few as 2 teachers minimum, or a group of several teachers and others interested in addressing in a classroom or department issue. And third kind of action research is school-wide research. It focuses on issue of common problems to all. Now, why should teachers do action research? Let us ask question to ourselves. As a teacher trainees, you should know, because you deal with the classrooms, there in the classrooms, and you should know, you will be knowing the problems of the children when you teach English language there. And why should we do action research? Does it help the teachers first? Does it help the students at all? Yes, to help them notice what they and their students really do. So it is for teachers. They should know what students really do rather than what they think they do. And to help them notice one more, to get feedback as to the success or failure of what they are doing. Okay, to know the failure and success, we should do action research. To help them tailor teaching, learning to their learners and their settings, so that they are able to justify the teaching and learning choices they make. Generally, whenever we come across the teachers' opinions, they say that our students are still making so many mistakes. We are unable to correct them, though they are able to correct. Many teachers are able to correct their mistakes, but teachers are helpless. Why? Because of some constraints. In spite of their trials, the errors are there still in the children. So these are why should we do action research in the class? To satisfy ourselves, to justify the teaching, learning choices, to increase their knowledge of learning and teaching. After all, the purpose of teaching is to increase their knowledge, and to ensure that they don't become bored with teaching. So if they don't understand the right spellings, right style of reading, correct speaking, they get bored. So to ensure that they don't become bored with teaching, to become less dependent on decisions made by people who are far away from their learning and teaching sites, people like textbook writers and school administrators. So the experts are not available in all the classrooms. So the teachers can solve the problems there itself, so without waiting for the experts to come there. So teachers, there is a great need to take up the action research for you. See, why action research now? Why is it done now? Yeah, if ever there were a time and a strategy that were right for each other, the time is now, and the strategy is action research. So no late. If you do late, then it will be late forever. So that's why I used the caption, the word now. Why action research now? Immediately we can take up this action research along with our teaching practice sessions. Now this is true for a host of reasons, with none more important than the need to accomplish the following. Okay, to professionalize our teaching, this is required. To enhance the motivation and efficacy of a tired faculty, meet the needs of an increasingly diverse student body, to achieve success with standards-based reforms. And now the question comes, where can your research question come from? Okay, how can we get the questions? What is the problem? How to identify the problems? How long is the question? How wide is the question? What is the area of the question, the problem? See that a problem or difficulty which you or your students are experiencing. For example, you might notice that only a few students take part in group work activities. Before looking for a solution, investigate the problem. So if you assign students into groups, into a group work, then some students will not participate. What might be the problem for them for not participating in the group activities? So investigate the problem then itself. Do students know how to give and support their ideas, disagree with others, ask questions, etc. in the language they must use in group work activities? Generally, some students are very active in the groups. Some students are very passive. What make them, what ideas, what problems make them passive? So let us examine those problems. Do students know that they should take different roles in groups? Now group activities usually need a facilitator, a recorder, a reporter, and a timekeeper. Now, are the activities suitable for group work, or could the students do them on their own? So this may be the problem of the question itself. If the teacher assigns a task into group, then did the students understand the concept of the work? So are the works or the activities suitable for them? So we have to analyze ourselves. Once you have a better understanding of the problem, plan what solution you will try. Now, what is the process of conducting action research? Steps to conduct action research. So before starting the action research, go through these steps. There are 6 steps given. Step 1, identification of the problem, just as we have completed the session now. Identification of the problem is which is the first step of taking action research. Second, defining the problem. You have to define the problem, what it is. And third, step 3, listing of probable causes of problem. We have to go through the points, the problems, the causes of the problem. Step 4, analysis of probable causes and formulation of action hypothesis. Step 5, action program, and it is nothing but the plan of action. It may take 10 days or 10 weeks even. And the last step, follow up and communicating the findings to others, other teachers, other schools, etc. So these 6 steps are very, very important in taking up action research. And see the plan. Once again, I am repeating those points. Identify the problem area. It's not that the problem is very big. Maybe the problem may be, for example, a student is writing B instead of D. That may be a big problem for some students in your class. So take up that area for some days, stick on to that problem, plan something, plan some activities and execute those activities in the class, then analyze, then find the solution will be yours. You will feel very happy in conducting this research there in the classroom itself. So identify the problem, whether it is small or big, but small. When you go to small area, then the result will be good for you, and narrow it down so that it is manageable. Investigate the problem. When does it happen? Who does it affect? What are the reasons for that? Where does it happen? Think about what might be causing the problem. Talk to other teachers and read to get more ideas about this. Think about a solution and how to implement it. Think about what evidence you will collect to decide whether your action is successful or not. Now how will you collect it? How will you analyze it? Then implementing your solution here. Observe. Observing the teaching and learning processes in your classroom. Teachers have many experiences. If you ask any teacher, they give a list of problems that their children often suffer from. So there are problems ready. When you go for teaching practice, ask the regular teachers there, what are the problems with the children in English regarding all the 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading and writing. So gather evidence and then analyze to decide to take up the activity. Then for example, you could observe how you use questions in your classroom, record a lesson and then listen to find answers to the following questions. How many questions do I ask my students? What type of questions do I ask them? By using WH words. How long do I wait for students to answer? Think of this. And reflections. Analyze the evidence you gathered. Has the problem been solved? If not, what step will you try next? If yes, what problem will you try to solve now? Some common problems are given here. These are the spelling errors often many people commit. So it's calendar, DAR, not calendar, DER, and it's definitely and definitely. There is a single letter which is misplaced. Tomorrow and tomorrow, where M is written double instead of single M. Traveling, L is written double there. Noticeable, they forgot E there. And disappear, 2S, S is repeated there instead of single S. Convenient, instead of E, it was I, it is I there. Deteriorate, rate or EIT is written there. Beginning, the most common word, beginning, instead of double N, we write single N. So common mistakes, common problems with the children. So we can take up this area, why the students commit mistakes of this. How to, what activities to be taken, we come across later within the same class later now. And see one more slide. Loose and lose, LOSE is lose, and second one is loose, double O is written there. Whether to write single O or double O, this is a confusion often occurs in the teachers and students. Of course, the sound itself is different. First one is lose, second one is loose. The spelling also differs. Affect and effect, whether and whether, the words are same but spellings are different, meanings are different. Accept and accept, prescribe and proscribe, complement and complement, oil and isle, then and than, desert and desert, principle and principle, often confused. See, again I am taking the same slides as I have shown you earlier. Common mistakes, instead of garden it is written as GRDAEN. So many other mistakes you can observe there. Common problems with the children, you can take up these areas too. And see, once again same slide, I have a blue hat, H is written in capital letter, blue, B is written capital, again H. So conventions of writing is a problem for children. The capital letters and small letters, the punctuation marks. See here, grammar area, instead of I agree we use I am agree, instead of do you agree we use are you agree, instead of I don't agree I am not agree, I disagree, instead of I disagree too I use the same phrase I am not agree. So common problems, whether grammar or punctuation or pronunciation, or here the singular and plural mistakes as we have come across earlier. Man's instead of men, children's instead of children, okay, and grammar errors are there, subject verb agreement, people is or people are instead of people are, simple past tense as we come across in many students. I didn't went instead of I didn't go, they use I didn't went. Did you met instead of did you meet, we use this. Okay, now we go to the other area. Okay, it's a funny comma punctuation, comma makes the complete reverse of the meaning there. Let's eat grandma, let's not eat grandma in fact, but let's eat oh grandma, come on. So punctuation saves lives, the caption is giving some message to us. Silent letters, see, this is where the H is silent in all these words, what, when, why, which, whether, ghost, honest, hour, white, where, rhythm. T is silent here, which, fasten instead of fasten sometimes, castle, watch, butcher, scratch, listen, match, Christmas, not Christmas but Christmas, mortgage, instead of mortgage it is mortgage, soften, sometimes both are acceptable, soften, often, not often, K is silent here, knife, knee, knot, knitting, no, knob, knock, knickers, knuckle, night, knack, and new. Here B is silent in this column, lamb, thumb, numb, crumb, climbing, bomb, comb, doubt, plumber, limb, debt, and tomb. See, silent words, silent letters may be the problem for some children. Now let us see some worksheets. So while taking the plan of action into the classroom, we can carry these worksheets into the classrooms so that the children, while doing these works, these tasks, these worksheets, they really they learn how to correct their errors. So one area to correct our errors is homophones, the beautiful area. Homophones, they sound the same but spellings are different and meanings are different. Sun, in the first picture it is given sun, and second one S-O-N, yes you are right, S-O-N, sun, sun and sun, right and right, this is our right, child's right, and right hand here, or that right, what we have rights, that is also right. Here the right side right is writing with a pen, W-R-I-T-E, W is silent. Here 8 and 8, 8 is, it is very clear here, but 8, A-T-E, 8, I ate my meal. So 8 and 8 both look like same, they are homophones, spellings are different, meanings are different. And the last one, blue and blue, blue a balloon, blue color, blue a balloon, blue color, both are same, it is not blue here, blue and blue. So homophones are the better tasks for some children which cure their problems. Next area of worksheet we can include while putting our plan into action in the classrooms, two or two, which two, TO or TOO or TWO, it's a big task for children. First one, I am going to read a book, which two, TO or TOO or TWO. So our children often confuse which two to be followed or written here. Next, Donald ran dash miles. So you may get, as a teachers, you may get the answer very quickly, but think of the children, small children there in the classrooms. So they may get confused which two is used. So introduce these three simultaneously to the children so that they learn which two is used. This is one kind of exercise. You may include some others too. Third one, is Anne coming dash? 2. She got dash wrong on the test. My brother likes dash play. My brother likes to play baseball. I was at the park 2 times today. Those clothes are too expensive. Clindy got 2 strikes in bowling. I need to write 2 pages for school. I need you to help me, it's too heavy. So look simple but it's more complex. See one more area, nursery rhymes. We deal with rhymes when now and then in the classrooms. Of course your idea is correct that rhymes give enjoyment, pleasure, but do they concentrate on the spellings while they are singing? Do they look at the rhyme in print? So when the rhyming words are repeated, do they get the spellings of those words automatically? See here, Jack and Jill went up the, so ask them which rhyming word fits the blank here. So instead of hat and bell, it is hill, Jill and hill. Likewise, the other rhyme, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive, 5 alive. Instead of 6 and fins, they go for alive only if you pronounce alive. One more rhyme, hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. Dock and clock are rhyming words. So there is a dock and there is clock. The spellings also resemble. Of course, 1 or 2 spellings are more in the words, but they resemble. The sounds are same. Homophones, you feel sometimes homophones, sometimes homonyms, okay, sometimes homographs, but the rhymes help them learn spellings too. See, one more, the contraction. These contractions help them learn the spellings. Sometimes we use the contraction I apostrophe and VE. See, what do we write there? What if you expand it, what do you get? I have. I is called as I have. First one is let us. Let us. In short form, let's. Let apostrophe s. Second one, I have. I've. Third one, do not. You know this, it's very common word. Don't. Fourth one, would not. Wouldn't. If it is will not, won't. We would, we'd. Are not, aren't. You are, you're. We will, we'll go. I would, I'd rather say this. So contract forms also help them learn the expansion forms. Of course, it is a two-way process. They learn both the ways. Now, ladders, word ladders. We know many word games. So ladders, in word ladders also they come across. We give a clue and we ask them to write the word. Of course, the letters are very small there, but we give a clue them and we ask them to write a 4-letter word. There are 4-letter words in the slide. Okay, so this is a ladder. Slowly we get the words, we move further and we reach the top. Okay, there are words team, meet, tame, take, tail, tall, ton, torn, worn and work. Of course, there are clues. Out of clues we get those 4-letter words and slowly we reach the top. Word ladder. Let us see one more word ladder. There are pictures on the left and blanks on the right. Some words are given to you. The cup or mug is given there. The picture of a mug is given. The letter M is provided and we have to supply the 2 letters. The children have to supply 2 letters. Likewise, there is bug, there is a bus, there is a bun and remaining 3 still blank. So we can give a clue of either of the letters, either the first letter or second letter or third letter. So slowly we are climbing the ladder. We are climbing the ladder and this is a word ladder which creates some interest in the children. Through the pictures, through the words, through the clues, the ladders go on. Now the prepositions. Prepositions are there. What are prepositions? You might know that in, on, under, between, above, next to, in front of, behind. Okay. Now in the first picture, where is the apple? Okay. Is it on the table, in the table, under the table? In the first picture itself. Okay. Draw a line. Now you have to match. The children have to match with the pictures with the right preposition. So they have to draw a line. If it is on correct, then they have to draw a line from the first picture to the third preposition on. So here I am going to show you from here to on the slide please, here to here, on. In the second picture it is under. Yeah, of course you are right. Now, as a teacher you get the right answers, but as students they enjoy the activity and they learn by doing. Third picture, fourth picture, fifth, sixth, seventh and eighth, really it is an enjoyable activity. Prepositions, we can teach prepositions, we can solve the problems of prepositions by this kind of activity. Look at this. Now how can I help the non-English students improve their reading ability? Reading ability for non-English students reading in other media. What is the problem? If a teacher says, in my class I found students read slowly and could not gain a good understanding of the material by using the reading skills they had learned in the previous term. It was hard for them to finish the reading tasks in a limited time. The situation was not in accordance with the requirements of the textbook. So often teachers complain that students are unable to read the simple texts and they are unable to understand what they mean. So the simple problem. So I was concerned because of our traditional teaching and studying strategies, the concept of reading skills had not been formed in the students' minds, and the limited vocabulary lead to this problem of non-comprehension. See the problem, traditional method of teaching, still we have not adopted the new methods, which is discourse method or child-centered methods, playway methods, then learner-centered methods. If we have not adopted these methods, if we still adopt the traditional methods, the comprehension will not be more and students will have the reading problem still without learning much vocabulary there. And many of the students, it's the teacher's complaint, many of the students thought that it is impossible to read effectively without a certain knowledge of vocabulary and grammar too. So they spent most of their time studying those aspects and doing less reading. So they involve in the many activities, they write something, they listen to the teacher, they follow the teacher's instructions, but if they are not involved in such activities as we have shown earlier, then they don't learn to comprehend much, they don't learn vocabulary, they don't learn pronunciation, they don't learn punctuation, they don't learn grammar and etc. etc. The textbook was too difficult to understand. Many teachers complain often. It is beyond their ability. But if we adopt the new teaching methods and new activities, attractive things, using all these pictures and captions, then they try to understand the things well. And of course, to check my suspicions, I gave a questionnaire to 33 students, but only 30 were collected in. After careful analysis, I learned that the students could not read effectively for the following reasons. They have limited vocabulary, as we have discussed earlier, lack of knowledge of grammar and reading skills, bad habit of reading, the narrow reading out of class, the textbook was difficult for the students to understand, the students were not interested in learning English, and some actions are planned to solve the problem. With the problems formulated, the following solutions were designated to solve them. The first one, enlarge the students' vocabulary including words and phrases, teach word building, teach and practice the skills to find the meaning in unfamiliar words in sentences, collect some interesting sayings, idioms about the words needed mastering, some interesting methods of memorizing, some English books and magazines in a natural way like cartoon shows and other story books, and some particular time according to the textbook, and all the above mentioned activities are implemented over a 10-week period. It is a 10-week plan, and every week I have introduced some activities so that the problems are resolved and they are very happy enough. Reports on the implementation of the 10-week plan. So you can divide the plan like this: the first week, second week, third week or fourth week. You can go for the first day, second day, third day, fourth day. If you have no time, then you can implement the 10-day plan, first day, second day, third day, like that. And after the class you can read the new curriculum again, new problem again, change the topic and go for the topic. For example, how can my students improve vocabulary? Of course I have given so many reasons there. And now my dear friends, for you I am giving some topics for action research. The examples, you may include new ones too. The first one, a study on the backwardness of class 5 students in reading English words. The class 5 students are backward in reading simple English words. You can take up this area for action research. Second one, a study on the inability of class 1 children reciting rhymes. Some children may be unable to recite rhymes, so this helps to practice the rhymes for children. Third, class 5 children are writing mistakes in English dictation. Fourth, class 5 students backward in learning English words. Fifth topic, reading disabilities in class 4 students with special reference to English words. 6, class 4 children lagging behind in writing English words. 7, class 5 children unable to use punctuation marks in writing. 8, class 3 students not recognizing the letters of alphabet. 9, class 5 students unable to use simple conversation with each other in English. And 10th one, class 6 students unable to comprehend simple texts. And the last one, class 7 students unable to write simple compositions. Okay, my dear students, let's recap the points so far discussed. We have seen some of the slides that represent the common problems of children, and later we have tried to define what is action research, and we have come across the features and characteristics of action research, the definitions given by some experts, educationists, and later we discussed why is action research, what is the need of action research for us, for teachers and students. It is for teachers, but it helps the learners ultimately. And why is it done now only? We discussed that. And later, how do we take up action research? So there are some steps given how to take action research. 7 steps you might remember. And planning action research, we have planned some activities, so many activities. I have tried to give you some activities there through this presentation, but you can include the activities should represent the problem. It should not go far from the topic. If your problem is on vocabulary, go for word building, okay, word ladder, Antyakshari, even some rhymes help us develop vocabulary, mind mapping, concept mapping. So all these improve vocabulary. So first identify the problem, minimize that, go to the deep into that, take up small area, then design some activities which suit that problem, put into those activities into action. Then that is planning action research, planning. Then analyze or get feedback from students what they have acquired. The last one, the topics for action research in English. I have tried to give you 11 topics for action research. So students, we have learnt today the action research. So don't think it is a big area. Research may scare you, but it is not that research that the scholars work for so many days, so many months, years, sometimes years together, as the PhD scholars do, but it is very small and it is very essential, it is very useful for the children to take up to solve the problem, and they feel very happy and they remember you as you are the doctor for them. And students, please take up one action research when you go for teaching practice in second year in English subject. Okay, of course you can take in any action research in any subject. Thank you very much children. Today we have covered this topic, and in next class I come to you with taking new topic. Thank you very much. Thank you listening to me.